Hi there guys, it's Wade McMaster here. I've got a quick video for you today. Basically, recently I did a video on MailChimp and how to start a newsletter, and I've had a few people asking about just how they can make a more of a newsletter based sort of layout to get their emails looking a little bit more sort of like packed with information, more of a newsletter format as opposed to simply sending out a basic email. So I thought I'd do this quick little video because at the same time MailChimp have updated their builder in recent times, so I thought it'd be a good time to touch on that. So I've got a basic MailChimp account here, one I haven't really used for a long time. I thought I'd come in to use this video. And if you haven't already got it set up on your website, there is a video I've already done. I'll link to it in the description below. It shows you how to get MailChimp on your website and send it for your first basic email. But we're going to have a look at more of the builder side of things this time to get more of a newsletter style layout. So let's basically get onto that. So the way it works, obviously, if I want to create, first of all, I'm going to go to create here to create a new email campaign. I click on email. I'm going to give it a name. It's going to call it newsletter and click begin. As usual, you do have to actually pick an audience. I'm just going to choose this one. Say from is already set up. Subject, once again, maybe I'll just say this month's news. If you want something enticing, it's like something big is coming. You got a little teaser, and so yeah, obviously that's not as important, but it's good to have that all there. And now we're ready to start designing the email. So when I click design email, you may get asked if you want to use the classic or the new builder. Click that new builder on and start going there. I don't get the option because it just automatically defaults on this account. But yeah, you've got a new builder you can use, and it's kind of like the block builder in WordPress. Has a few cool sort of features. But essentially, this is where we land. You do have a few templates. If I go in here to templates, but they're all very basic. There's not a lot in them. It's not as if there's actually like a newsletter in there. But one thing I do think is very cool, if you're handy with Photoshop, you can choose this gallery style one and simply keep adding images and just have images that link off to, you know, various areas of your website. But we're just going to stick with the default for now, which is what we have here. Now, first things first, I'm going to actually put a logo at the top here. So I'll click on this here, this logo image here. You can see if we click, we get a few options. If I click on this logo image here and click set logo, I'm going to upload a logo here. And of course I can resize this. Maybe I want it to be a bit smaller, and I can link it to my website if I want to. Now alignment, I can make it left, center, right, full. I'm just going to go with center for now, and I'm going to size that down again. Give it this alt text. I don't think this is really 100% necessary, but it's good to have it in there, just to be complete. And you can change the background of the block if you want to as well. So if I had a transparent PNG or something, I could pop that in there as well, and change the background. So I get this cool colored block. I'm going to stick with white for now. So you got those basic options. It's not too extreme, but it's nice, basic, and easy to use. Now I've got an issue with Helvetica on this computer where it changes Helvetica to an outline. So I'm not sure why it does that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change this to something else. Maybe we'll change it to catamaran. We can make the font size bigger, smaller, whatever. So, time to design your email. This is working. If you wanted to say, we'll start off with say a one object type thing, you can basically just edit out this template, just so we can say, you know, news, or maybe headline is, this is happening. Type. This is happening now. Something big is happening here. We're excited to announce this, etc. You sort of get the idea. So maybe you got like something basic. You got an image here. We click on the image. I add an image. Once again, same options as before. Upload. maybe I choose something like, we'll just go something like this, I guess. And so now we've got this creator impact. This is happening now. It's all happening. We're excited to announce this, my free templates. And maybe I want to link off. So if I've got the actual address I want to use, like a URL, I can copy that in here. For now, I'm just going to use creatorimpact.com. And I can choose to have this sort of, we'll keep it center for now. I'll say click here to download. So this leads off to the website, my website, and it's click here to download. But there's a few other options, of course. If we're here on the text, I can change the type size again. I can change the text color, so maybe blue, something like that. Links, I'll make the links blue. So I'll go back to making the text black. So you got some basic options, and it's very easy to use. Now, another thing I can do is, if you're using the text editor, I can make this here bold and italic, and that way you got something that's a little bit different. If I want to add some dot points, maybe I can say here, free to download. I'm going to make this dot points. Easy to use, available now, or something like that. So this is understanding the basics of the text editor. Now this is what we've got. I'm not a huge fan of what we've got laid out, but maybe I want to make that left aligned. So maybe I've decided I want everything here to be left aligned. At the moment this is left aligned instead of centered, although it has carried this across multiple blocks, which I find very interesting. This is happening now. I can make that centered. And of course the button, I can also over here make that centered. Now, so you got the option to do a few things there, centered or left aligned, whatever. You got some very basic options. One thing you can do also is introduce, but we'll go to that in a minute. If you're using a button, this is great for for links and that sort of thing. You got a few options in terms of making it round, with rounded corners, a pill shape, so you got that perfectly round shape. Instead of having it filled, you can have it outlined, and you can change some of the button colors. Button color is blue. Text, maybe make that white. Block background, white, grey. Stick with white. So you can see here, it's a very simple, easy to use sort of interface here on the left. Now let's say for some reason before we get stuck into this, we want to have a little introduction message. This here looks like a spacer, so I'm actually going to remove that spacer by clicking bin. The first thing I want to actually mention too is that maybe I like the idea of the image being like something of a separator. So I'm going to click on this because I want to move it up and just sort of drag it. It's a little bit funny, but here you go. You can see we're going to land it right here. So we've got the logo and an image here straight away. Now what happens when you just want to start adding extra bits and pieces? So that way we turn this into more of a newsletter with various news items. Some people have requested things like videos and animated GIFs, so we're going to look at those as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to add a little intro here. I'm going to click plus, and this is where we have all of our options. You have a logo like above. You can add in layouts, which we're going to explore soon. If you have a store, you can link MailChimp to it, like a WooCommerce store or something like that, and put a product in there. Otherwise, you've got other things like basic social media buttons, the spacer, which is just basically a space, literally to create space. A divider, which we will actually add one of those in. And as you can see here, there's some rules here for padding, top and bottom, to make it, give it a bit of padding. I'm going to sort of pop that down and make it 8, 16 or something like that. The thickness, we can pop that down. We have 1 pixel, we can have 29 pixels. So you've got a few options to play with. I think maybe the gray, or we can add in something funky like a purple if we want to, but I've sort of gone a bit off track there. So we've got this pink line. Doesn't look very good, so I'll go back to the gray. But you see, it's pretty straightforward again, and we're going to keep on typing. So I'm going to click the plus button here, and I'm going to add paragraph. This time I'm going to say, hi there, and use a merge tag. Now this allows me to put in something such as email address or first name. I'm going to put in first name, and I'm just going to comma, hit enter. Now you can type as normal. If I hit enter, it adds in another block. Here is the latest news we have for you. I hope you enjoy it. And then you can simply hit enter, keep typing, and you can introduce. Now, the good news about that merge tag is if I preview here, test first name, enable live merge info, there, Adrian. So you get the idea what a merge tag is for. Exit preview mode, and you can see here you've got a few email address, last name, their birthday. You can put in other bits and pieces of information there, but it's pretty cool the way that you can merge, and that way people who have actually entered their names when they subscribe will get welcomed with their name in that message. So what's next? We're going to basically add in a few areas, because all you need to do is, as you're adding in these blocks, you can see there's options that pop up on the left. So what we're going to do next is add a video. So I've actually got a video, a YouTube video I'm going to bring up, which is over on my screen on the left, which is essentially this video here. I'm going to copy this address. I'm going to click add. I'm going to click video. You can upload an image, I believe. So say I want this to be the image, maybe I'll go here. So I'm not sure exactly why that is done, absolutely nothing. But either way, not quite sure why that's doing that, but if I right click here in the source and just paste in my YouTube address here, it'll actually create this. So you can see we've got a little image here and the source of our video. It's already added in the alt text. I can add a block background, so maybe add in the blue just to give it something a little different, or a light gray. And if I preview this, you click on that and see it takes you off to YouTube to watch the video. So that's something that's pretty cool. However, it may not be what some people look for. Maybe some people want to actually embed a video on there. I'm not exactly sure if that's even possible anymore, but you can link off to a video easily enough. But it seems that the options are a little bit more limited these days. If you could add in a HTML block, possibly, but that's the video block for now. It just simply links off. Either way, we're going to move on here. So now let's say we want to add a few items. We can add more like this by simply hitting plus, adding in a heading, then adding in an image, adding in paragraphs, and doing what we've done above. But we're going to do something a little bit different to make it more of a newsletter style format. We're going to get into layout. You see we've got different layouts here on the left. We've got maybe something basic here. We've got something with an image on the right and on the left, or a few different images. So we're going to add a few of these in and just really get this looking the way we want. So we're going to start off with something basic like this. Let's just talk up your brand. I'm going to change that to catamaran. Maybe I'll start up with another news item. It's like another news item. You go in here and type in your news. Did some more things today, etc., etc. Now, once again, you can simply type the full newsletter item in here. So maybe if I grab some lorem ipsum text, I can simply go in here and paste that in. So now we have like this big news item here. Although maybe I think to myself, I'm not quite satisfied with that. Maybe it's a bit long, but just to get the idea, you can add that in there. I am going to actually go in here and delete this. So we have this other news item here, a bit long. I'll shorten this one. Maybe it's just a quick little call to action or something like, you know, keep your eyes open in May for that. And then we're going to move down. We're going to add another layout, but this time we're going to actually go with an image. So this time we'll go image on the left. We'll change our heading to catamaran. So this time we'll be like, check out this. Very vague news. This time we will go, I will add in some of our lorem ipsum text off on the side over here. I click learn more. I link off to our URL, which I'm actually going to take the Lipsum website and pop that there. I'm going to choose outlined, and here I'm going to add in a photo. So I click on the photo, I click add, upload image. I'll pick something like this one here. So you see, with the layout, we can choose a layout background. Maybe I'll make it light gray so it stands out, or maybe I'll add a color. So I'll go really nice and light. I'll try and pick something around that blue area. So we have a block, we have this in the middle, we have another block, and that way things are sort of separated a little more visually. And so you do have some basic options within the layout itself. You can change the layout if you want to, or simply change the layout background. It's not too crazy, but yeah, not too bad. It's reasonably intuitive, but I think sometimes it could be a little too simple, but you sort of get the idea. There's not a lot of flexibility, but we're going to add another one. We're going to go to layout. Sometimes not having flexibility isn't a bad thing though, because it means that you're going to be sticking with something that's consistent. Catamaran. Whoops. Catamaran. Yeah, another item. We can type in more here. Add more details. This is great if you have a blog, because you can link off to your blog posts. So maybe you have several blog posts you've posted in the last week or 2 weeks, and you send it out in your newsletter. So you can simply add in bits and pieces. Once again, I'm going to add another photo. This time I'll go with, we'll go this one here. And then of course, maybe you want to simply add in another layout with, once again with dividers. We'll go in here to layout. So I'll add in, say, 3 blocks of images, and I'll just quickly add those in. And of course, we can change the layout background there too. Maybe we make this one black so it's just a bit different, or maybe like a lighter, maybe green. So you can link these off to posts as well. So you can simply click here and link off to, you pop a URL in there and link that off as well. Maybe I want to add in a title, so a heading. This time I'm going to say, check out these updates. Also, heading 1 I think is probably a bit too extreme. We'll go heading 2. Once again, we'll make that catamaran, and maybe I'll make this block background a light green as well. Now, one thing that I see here, which is probably not great, is the fact that there is a space between these two, and I don't think I can put this within the layout. I can only move it above and below. So there are limitations in MailChimp about that. So, but you know, it's not a big deal. You still got a lot of control. It's nice and simple to use. So you do get a pretty good result considering how simple things are to use. So let's go to preview for a sec. So we've got a little bit of a newsletter layout here, and you can keep on adding and adding these layouts as you want. So you start off, you can simply list things down the page like this. We've got a video here, another news item, another news item, and we can build a little newsletter like that. Now you don't have to link off. You can simply exit this. You can simply bin these buttons if you want to make this purely a newsletter that doesn't link away, so you're not trapped with these buttons that go nowhere. It's pretty simple to use. You just keep adding and building upon what you've already got. And as I said, you've got other layouts here that you can use, like the center, and it just comes down to images, so you put a gallery in there. It's pretty handy. Plus you got your other options, a logo, button. Social is essentially the same as what's below. So One thing you want to make sure is you do link up your social media. So if I click in here on this tab, you pop your social media URLs in here. You can left align, center. You can choose to have the actual colors. You can have them outlined, light, dark, you get the idea. So that's it. It's a pretty straightforward and easy to use editor. The old editor was probably a little bit more intuitive, well, not intuitive, but a lot more options, but this is simple and easy to use. One more thing I want to add before I go is if you want to add an animated GIF. I had someone ask me about an animated GIF. I'm a bit disappointed about the video feature being just a link, but if I want to change this to an animated GIF, all I need to do is upload the GIF. However, down here, the GIF is not showing up. So simply select all files, and if you have a GIF here, such as this, you can upload it. And that's not a great GIF, but I just quickly whipped it up for the video. So you can have animated GIFs on there. They're not selected by default, but you can choose all files when you're searching for a GIF to add in there. And that's a bit of how you create a bit of a newsletter style layout for a newsletter. Pretty straightforward. Now, there's not a lot more options here. I know that in the past you could change the background a little bit more, get a few more actual options on the template itself. So these are all the pre-built templates. The one I've used is just a simple one. You can save this if you want to as well. Although, no, sorry, you do actually go and create a template under the template builder. So that's something that's pretty handy. But yeah, once you're ready, hit continue. And you've got this here. So I'm actually obviously not going to send that. I'm going to finish that later. But if you do decide you want to do this as a template, you can go into email templates here, create a template, choose one to start off with. So we might say this one just to be a little bit different. I'll call this test template. You can go through and build as you did before, adding your layouts, etc., and save. Now, that allows you to change the canvas here. Maybe we want to change that to white. Maybe we want to change this area, the backdrop, to the brown. You've got a few options there. But when you're done, you can save that template and exit if you want to. So now when you actually go to create another email campaign, you get email, create an email. So we'll just call this one test. I skip ahead to design email. Under templates, under saved, I have my test template. So that's how you can do that. If you want to also add a template of your newsletter, and then it's a matter of going in and just editing the bits and pieces for the next time you actually create your newsletter. So I hope that has helped in some way. This new editor is pretty easy to use, and I would try and get used to it, because as with most things, they do eventually phase out the old technology. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. If you're looking for more information on how to create better content and grow your presence online, please consider subscribing. It also helps support the channel a lot, so I get to do and create more free tutorials like this. Consider giving the video a like for the same reason. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Any thoughts or questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, see ya.